What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day, and we are back, you guys. We just had an absolute banger of a day on college football. A lot of things hit, a lot of things got set up for us. I mentioned in yesterday's video that it looked a little bit rough going into college football, but that did not mean that we could not come back and cash a ton of entries and still be set up very well going into tomorrow. And then obviously having another great college football weekend, guys. So if you guys don't know, every single weekend in October looked like this. We had one weekend, pretty much last weekend in the beginning of November, that was like our one losing weekend the past like 6 weeks. And then again, this weekend is looking like it's going to be another winning weekend, guys. So please leave a like and comment on the video for that. I have a lot to go over in today's video. I'm going to give you guys four NFL entries today that I love and that are my favorite picks going into NFL Sunday. Now, these were the 6 picks that I gave out in college football. So it was Sason, it was Taylon Green, Arch Manning, Carson Beck, Casey Concepcion, and Malachi Lemon. And you'll see that we went 4-2, which is very, very good. That means that is a 66% hit rate, which I always try to get between 60 to 65% hit rate whenever I give out these individual picks. And that actually is above that. So very happy about that, guys. A lot of these were very easy. I told you guys about Julian Sason as my favorite prop of the day, and that did hit for us very, very easily. I don't even think he got more than like a 35-yard pass or something in that game. But you'll see all of these cash for their own different reasons. I could go through them, but there is a lot to get into in today's video. First, I do want to get into a couple of things. First and foremost, guys, if you like and comment every single day in November, you will get entered in a giveaway, a signed Jordan Addison jersey right here. And every single day you do so, you will be entered in an additional raffle ticket to go ahead and win this signed jersey giveaway. Again, every single like and comment really, really helps me. It helps me push out the algorithm, helps me get my content out to more and more people. I am working on updating my graph. I'm just realizing now that I didn't update it, but we're probably looking something like this now, right? But again, I do need to update this. You'll see this in tomorrow's video after the NFL is all done. But just so you know, guys, we're very profitable on this channel because we use a strategy called correlation, and it is using pretty much guys either going over together or under together. So, for example, I took Marcel Reed over. I took Casey Concepcion over. That hit. Arch Manning, I took over with DeAndre Moore. That hit. Again, what is the common denominator here? These guys were playing from behind the entire time. So I'm going to be talking about that a lot today. I always talk about that when a team's playing from behind, they're going to pass a ton. When a team is playing ahead, they're not going to pass very much. So if we actually take it over here to this entry right here in the middle, you'll see these Missouri guys, they were up by like 20 points at halftime. So I took them under, even though this guy's line was really low, it was under 100. I still took him under, and he literally, I was watching this game on my phone. It was like run. Like they didn't pass at all. He passed the ball, I think, 2 times the entire second half, or had 2 pass completions the entire second half. Again, because they were up by 20 points. And that's how the majority of football games go, guys. It's a team up like crazy. They either run the ball out, or a team's behind and they're going to throw the ball like crazy. Okay, so you're going to see that everywhere. We cash Wimby's discount here. We cash this one here for a 3-man, and this is a 5x entry. Actually, I think this is a 5.25. This was an 8x. This was an 8x. This was a 5x. And then we have a ton of setups going into tomorrow, guys. Okay, we have a setup tomorrow morning with Counter-Strike. There's way too much on the way to show this, but we have a setup right here. We have a setup right here tomorrow morning with Dota, which has been crushing it for us, guys. These Dota plays are so good. Right here, really good. Right here, setup. Right here, setup. And then these plays over here on the right side of the screen, these were both free entries. Okay, I sent this out on my free winnable, so you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to pay anything. I think the only thing you have to do, and I'll show you how to get to it in a second here, is put in your phone number, because I have to text you. It pretty much automatically texts you my plays, so you have to put in your phone number, and it just automated sends you when I send out a play to my free plan. But my free plays did go ahead and get this. Again, it hasn't hit yet, but this is really nice to see for tomorrow night's game. Golf and Amon-Ra over, and I think this is a 9x, guys. So if this hits, this would be a 9x. It is set up. And then this was a play on Thursday Night Football that we took right here on this channel. Justin Fields under, Mason Taylor under. Again, as I mentioned before, if a quarterback goes under, his target, his number 1 target, number 2 target, whatever it is probably going to go under as well. Again, Justin Fields only threw for 23 yards in that first half, so there's no way a target, or any person on the planet, is going to go over their line if you only get 23 yards in that first half. Again, waiting for Rico Dowell, which I still think is a really good line there. Just finishing out, going through a lot of things because I know I'll get asked about it. Yes, we do miss entries, guys. We miss entries. This is part of the program. It is sports betting at the end of the day. We are very profitable long term, but if anyone tells you that you can hit every single entry, they are completely lying to you. And it's honestly really it's honestly really sad if anyone does say that, because you have to have a plan in place when you lose, right? Losing is part of the game, especially when you have 4-man entries, 3-man entries. You don't even have to hit every one of these or every other one of these or every other third or fourth of these, right? Losing is part of the game, especially on my VIP. And you'll see a lot of these losses that we did have were down to the wire. They were really close. This one in particular, this guy missed by like 4 yards. So that was a very close one. I had one yesterday that I showed, Drake Lindsay. He missed by 1 yard. That was close. And then you'll see a lot of these that miss do go opposite correlation. So just as I talked about, I take guys over together, under together. Right here, I took Haynes, King, and Rivers to go under together. And I made the wrong call, right? I should have took the over. They had an incredible game passing the ball. Again, you'll see it was a very close game. That's probably why. It was a shootout type game. If Georgia Tech blew them out by like 30 points with a ton of pick sixes and kick returns and running, then Haynes King probably would have went under because he wouldn't have thrown. Same thing with Story Robinson. He was playing from behind this entire game. It was 28-55. So think about what happens in a 28-55. The team is going to throw the ball like crazy, and that's exactly what happened. So, I took the unders here, for example. These guys go way over. And again, in tonight's game, BYU versus TCU, which is actually still going on, this guy gets over 200 yards, and this guy gets 38 yards as his number one target. Again, because this guy had an incredible game passing the ball. Even though this is a miss, this is a prime example of correlation. And again, that is what we do on this channel. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I do want to say one thing, guys, and then I promise I will get into the picks. The only thing that I have to promote today is sleeper picks. I want as many of you guys to get into sleeper picks as possible. I am actually going to be giving out 2 free months of the VIP with sleeper if you guys sign up for sleeper by Sunday night. Okay, so this is going to be 24 hours only. I'm just doing it till the end of the weekend. You'll get 2 months free of the VIP for signing up for sleeper. I normally just do 1 free month. Additionally, on top of that, I'm going to be giving away the first 5 people who text me the word sleeper and sign up for sleeper after I post this video. So I don't know how fast people are going to text me or not, but I will actually be cash apping or Venmoing them back the $10 deposit that they put into sleeper. Okay, so all you have to do with sleeper is put in $10 or more of your own money into sleeper. You'll get a free $20 entry on sleeper. You'll get 2 months free of the VIP, which by the way is like normally a $300 to $400 value. And if you don't believe me, in October, for example, we went up more than 100 units. Okay, so last month we went up 100 units. If you're a $10 sports bettor, so you take $10 on every play, that is $1,000 that you would be up in 1 month. All right, so I know sometimes the prices can look pretty crazy or something like that, but it's like if you're just a $10 sports bettor, you'd be up $1,000, right? Which is multitudes higher than what I just charged for a month. One additional thing, guys, is I do want to say I am opening up 80% off. Okay, so a number of ways to get into my VIP. You can get it for free with sleeper. Again, text me as soon as possible. My number is always going to be up here on the screen right here with sleeper, and then it'll also be down here in the description. And then you guys will also get 80% off. So I mentioned my free plan is right here on my winnable. You guys will never ever get charged for this. You'll see you'll get access to 1 free pick a day. I try to send out a pick a day. Maybe it's every other day. I try to be on top of it when I can. And then my my VIP access is right here. Again, it is a pretty steep price, but again, you can get it 80% off. This is going to be 10 codes only with code READ. Okay, so that'll be the first thing in the description right there, along with my phone number to text me. Code READ along with Marcel Reed, right? Because we just cashed with Marcel Reed. 80% off of my VIP. So you can either do it weekly or monthly and get 80% off as long as you go ahead and do that in the next 24 hours type of time frame right there. Right, guys? So let's hop into today's plays. Again, if you listen to that, I appreciate it. I do want to get you guys cashing, right? I want you guys to make money. And again, my strategy is a proven strategy that has worked over 20 months. So that's just why I talk about this type of stuff. First play of the day, guys. Like I said, we went 4-2 yesterday, so let's try to continue that on and try to hit maybe 3 out of 4 of these, something like that. But first pick of the day, guys, is Tyler Algier to go over 7.5 rush attempts. Now, I talked about this when I took Rico Dowell to go under. I'm actually kind of curious, and I want to see if Rico is still at 19.5. Yeah, 19.5. I would take the under all day on this, guys. If you have that Justin Fields set up, I would stay away from it because we already have a play for it. But as I said with the Rico Dowell line when I explained it on Thursday, Thursday. Panthers are probably losing this game. What happens when a team's losing the game? They're not going to run the ball. What happens when a team is ahead in a game? They're going to run the ball like crazy, and the Falcons love to run the ball like crazy when they're ahead, okay? They just switch out Bijan and Tyler and Bijan and Tyler, and that is what they do when they're ahead in games. They're kind of a weird team because when they're behind in a game, they look like a really good passing offense, and when they're ahead in a game, they look like a really good rushing offense. And in some games, they look absolutely like nothing, and they look horrible. So it's a really weird team, but I am going to take Algier over. I do think they beat the Panthers. Now, this is probably my favorite play of the day. I love Baker Mayfield under 205 passing yards. This is way too low for him. I have no idea what they're doing setting this line so low. I mean, if this line was like 230, I would honestly still be like kind of okay taking it. It is 205 right now. You'll see the one game that he's gone under in the past 5. I don't like to talk about these past 5, but you'll see he easily clears this every single game. The only time he did not clear this was versus the Saints, and if you look at that game, they were up like 27-3. So they beat him like 27-3, and Baker had like 12 pass completions in that game. Not because he played a bad game, because they were up the entire game. So why would they pass? Again, I say this almost every day, but it's like when you're ahead in a game, you're not going to pass very much, and Baker does not have to pass very much. Baker thrives when he is down, when he has to play from behind, when he has to come back in these games. I think he has like 3 or 4 fourth quarter comebacks already this year. And again, he's playing the Bills, which we can all agree, Bills, very, very good team. They're probably going to be ahead in this game a little bit, and Baker's going to be either in a shootout or he's going to be playing from behind this entire game. So I love that play. I mean, I think he easily gets 225, 230, and that is very, very low for him. If this was a discounted line on Prizepicks right now, I honestly would not bat an eye. The third pick of the day is going to be, do not freeze on me now, but it is going to be Cam Little over 7 kicking points. All right, so let me explain this one. As you guys have seen, I like to kind of talk about like if a team's winning, if a team's losing, what are they going to do? And kind of go off of like, I think this team's probably going to lose, and I think we can all agree this team's going to lose. You can look at the odds. But this play here, Prizepicks is literally giving you the information, okay? Cam Little, 1.5 field goals made, is a green goblin right now on the site. So they're pretty much saying he has a higher chance to get 2 field goals than to get under 2 field goals because it's a green goblin. If you don't know what a green goblin is, it's a reduced payout line. So they're pretty much saying he is very likely, not very likely, but he's pretty likely to get 2 field goals. Now, 2 field goals is 6 kicking points. Okay, so that is why I'm taking him over 7 kicking points, because they have a green goblin of him getting 2 field goals. With that being said, he could definitely get 3 field goals or 4 field goals even. And on top of that, I think we can all agree that the Jags are probably going to score once, twice, like 2 touchdowns. Is that really too hard to ask for the Jags? So there's a green goblin right now on Cam Little to go over 1.5 field goals. Man, that's not saying I do not like this line. I really don't like this line at all, or I don't like this square. What I really like is this square right here, and I also like his fantasy score, okay? So either one of these, I would just take it one time, but you can kind of pick your poison. If you like his kicking points, that's great. Take his kicking points. If you like his fantasy score, great. Take his fantasy score, okay? I'm not gonna make you guys choose. I'm gonna take the kicking points, but if you do like the fantasy score, then go ahead and take the fantasy score too. But that is going to be the third play of the day, and then the last play of the day in the NFL. And by the way, I also posted, I think, another 3 NFL plays in yesterday's video. So if you guys do want to go back and just watch yesterday's video real quick, you guys could also do that and get an additional 3 picks. But the final play of today is going to be Tyrone Tracy under where is he? Under rush attempts. All right, guys. So I have a pretty long explanation about this. I do want to say, if you've gotten any value from this, if you guys are, well, in the VIP, if you guys want to join the VIP, whatever it is, please, again, like and comment on these videos. It helps me out so much, and it's just a way to give back and keep me making these videos for you guys. All right, guys. So Tyrone Tracy under 12.5 rush attempts. So you'll see last game he does go over. If you guys saw this game, it was Bears versus Giants, and Giants were leading this entire game, okay? Giants were up by like 10 points, 14 points, something like that. They're up this entire game, and Tyrone Tracy does go over his rush attempts, but he only gets 14. If you see this game, Jackson Dart comes out of the game. Russell Wilson comes into that game late. They have also fired their head coach now, and now Jameis Winston is their quarterback, okay? So this team is a weird team to bet on. They're pretty much a completely new team. They have Jameis as quarterback. They do not have their head coach anymore. But with all that being said, Tyrone Tracy, in a game where they were winning, in a game with Jackson Dart that does not throw as much as Jameis Winston, I'll prove to you how much Jameis Winston throws, because I know I've definitely bet on him a lot last year in his overs. But He only got 14 rush attempts in a game where he really should have ran the ball maybe 17 times because they were up that entire game. Now, they still lost that game, but it was a very, very much so a comeback type story from the Bears. Jameis Winston, guys, he throws a ton. You'll see his line right now is 34.5. Last year, look, he had a game where he had 58 pass attempts. He had a game where he had 41 pass attempts. I'm telling you, if you go back and look at his games on the Browns, there were multiple games where he would have 45 plus pass attempts. So he loves to throw the ball. Now, with that being said, I don't know what the Giants are going to do. Again, it's a new head coach. It's a new quarterback. So you kind of have to treat this team like a different team entirely. That's why I'm saying I honestly like the Baker line better, or the Cam Little line better, because who knows what the Giants are going to do. But I do really like the Tracy line just based on the fact that they were blowing out the Bears. Maybe not blowing out the Bears, but they're definitely beating the Bears pretty heavily. And Tyron Tracy still only ran the ball 14 times, which is not that much. So again, they're facing the Packers, which I forgot to mention. So I think we can all agree the Packers are probably going to beat this team. The Packers are probably going to be ahead this entire game, which is going to cause the Giants to have to throw the ball. So hopefully that makes sense. These are going to be my 4 picks: Algier over rush attempts, Baker over pass yards, Cam Little over kicking points, and Tyron Tracy under rush attempts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, guys, text me the word sleeper. It is completely no risk. You'll get 2 free months of the VIP and a free $20 entry on sleeper. And yeah, we can start cashing every single weekend, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.